send you the link to that video when I send out the email. So you're going to get 2 emails from me. You're going to get yesterday's lesson and today's lesson in a separate email. Who knows what I mean by foreshortening? Okay. Foreshortening is where things appear to be short even though you know they're long. So, for example, most people have a pencil in front of them. If you put the pencil on the side, it looks something like that, doesn't it? So you look at your pencil like that, you've got the full length of the pencil. If you turn that pencil and look straight down the barrel of it, what you've got is this. Or if it's got that grip on, something like that. So you're not getting the full length of the pencil. Now, get your pencil and just sort of hold it a little bit off. What you're going to have is this. And I'm exaggerating the perspective on there a little bit. So your pencil's going to look more like that, depending on what angle you do that. So you can do it at a slight angle. I don't know if there's much perspective in it there. It's going to look like that. So if these are all the same pencil, you realise that that distance there, that distance is very different from this distance here. That's called foreshortening. There are a few tricks you can do to help some of the foreshortening problems. One of the things you see in really dramatic illustration or comic books or things like that is where a character's sort of doing that straight at you, and the fingers are like that or like that. The fingers are all foreshortened. So one of the tricks of the trade is, and I'm going to get you guys to draw your own hands because that's the assignment today, is to get you whatever hand you don't draw with and sort of look at that angle, but give yourself a little bit underneath or on top. Don't get directly end on, get just a little bit up. So also I should talk about drawing hands anyway. What you get when you get, I think you can go off the side. What you get when you're sort of looking down at your hand like that, especially if you spread the fingers out, the little finger ends up being the longest finger. One of the things that really helps are these little creases, because that helps describe that hand, especially the one that's like, you know, full on like that. If you're drawing video game characters, if you're drawing comic books, or if you're just drawing illustrations, you're going to want to know this foreshortening trick here, but you also, no matter what sort of art you're doing, if there's any sort of representation at all, you're still going to want to know how to foreshorten. It comes down to what I sort of said long ago about the proportions of things. Now if you, remember I was saying with the pencil, you measure with the pencil and And on here, well, it's a little bit harder when your hand's right there. But you can still sort of judge. You sort of say, okay, look how high that finger is, and you look how high that palm of the hand is, and you sort of think, oh, that's probably just a little bit shorter than that, or it's a little bit longer than that. It depends on what angle you have your hand at. So you're looking at something as a measuring guide. If you can look there and sort of, and usually it's better to shut one eye, because when you've got two eyes you're getting two visions of the same thing that our brain just puts together. So if you've got just one eye shut, you look at it, you can sort of measure. One finger, how much is that to the palm? How wide is it? Is it one finger wide? You really have to look at the measurements. And that's just straight out observation. It's very handy that we've got a second hand, because these are one of the hardest things to draw. Has anyone ever found that? There are some things that are extremely hard to draw on the human body. They tend to be feet, they tend to be hands, they tend to be the neck for some reason, they also tend to be the forearms. I do have videos on all of those. I'm just going to do it off topic for a moment. And I'll just quickly talk about if you have to draw hands, just out the top of your head or something like that. The construction of the hand is a couple of basic shapes here. You can break up the human face. I'm sure you've all seen that, how that happens. And you do the same with the hand. Two shapes, sort of, one shape's like that. And that's this part of the hand. The other one, sort of triangle out to the side. That's what you put the fingers and thumb on. Got your pointer finger there. Got your longer finger there. Ring finger, little finger, thumb. I find that's probably the easiest way just to quickly draw a hand. Now it's okay doing it that way when you're doing it off to an angle a bit. Like that. Then you're looking at that shape. Catch the thumb there. Catch the finger there. There, there. You can also, with this, if you want to, break that up, little sort of knuckles there, and that will also help placement of the fingers. But it's probably the easiest way of doing it. Now the other thing I do want to cover, which is getting back to the foreshortening, it comes in with shading. Now some people just put down a pencil and smudge it. You're doing yourself a lot of favours if you are going to be using lines, because you can use lines around something like that to describe it. Look for all the lines you can find anyway, because these help give a bit of a rounded look on things. You see how I've sort of done slightly curved lines there? It's helping describe the shape, not just hands, anything. If you're going to do any object, I don't know, just, okay, think of a cylinder. If I turn it like that, it works better than if I was to do the same thing it doesn't give the same sort of rounded feeling. Now you can do it subtly with pencil, or you can do it really bold with a paintbrush and ink. Did you ever read Dr. Seuss as a kid? Cat in the Hat, Bring Eggs in the Ham. Look at his line work, it's gorgeous. He curves like that. Gives his whole world this sort of feeling like that. It's his line work. This is where I always say, analyse what an artist does. Even something as simple as Dr. Seuss has gorgeous artwork because it's stylized, but because it gives you that nice flowing feeling. I'm talking about flow and rhythm and things next week. Okay, so your assignment, especially for those at home too, get your hand, look at it like that, and draw it. Okay? Off to it.